By 2050, there will be more than 10 billion flesh bags walking around on this planet. That's right, the very success of Earth's most cerebral occupants could lead to their demise. Now, I speak proudly as a member of this species, the son of a farmer, and an inhabitant of the luscious California. In my own lifetime, I have noticed shorter winters, drier springs, and destructive fires which might make you believe in biblical prophecies. They're so common they almost mesh into the unconscious. I imagine you've seen it too. We are in a world that demands preservation and receives a bullshit holiday as a substitute for recognition. We chant Earth Day as the problems get worse and worse. Scientists now predict that the effects of climate change will be irreversible within the next 15 years. But after parsing this existential conundrum for hundreds of years, scientists also have a bunch of available solutions. And for my sales speech, I want to tell you about possibly the most salient and feasible of all these ideas. First off, change must manifest in industrial farming. How are we going to provide food for everybody if the people providing that food can't do it in a sustainable way? Large industrial farms which prioritize fiscal gain must adapt to new methodologies, replacing practices like monoculture breeding, in which crops are grown over and over and over again, leaching nutrients and requiring mass amounts of water. Even farmers now have argued they'd rather adapt as to circumvent assimilation to a healthier standard in the future. New integration practices like multi-crop farming, crop rotation, and livestock incorporation have all proven successful in multiple studies conducted both in Texas and California, the largest ag states. They decrease fertilizer use, which is no excuse to the soil, and limit water consumption. These design approaches increase efficiency and productivity by imitating the ecological arrangement which exists naturally. Another cool idea is providing commercial-grade filtration systems to recycle water, in which water is kept in one source and moved through a permeable membrane so that all the toxins and things are removed. But it's expensive and efficacious to run, but it does save energy and reduce water consumption. The next big change is at conflict with this anti-aesthetic against natural or against individual contribution in the U.S. Because in order to maintain the future, we all have to start changing our water habits now. But this could seem impossible. We all have difficult enough lives, right? But this work is menial if you consider the ramifications of prolonged negligence. Just improving water systems, limiting usage, and collecting rainwater could limit your consumption by over 35%, which means that although your individual habits are presumably minuscule, they could have a prodigious impact on the world collectively. Water is life, but we don't value it as such. It's evident if we do not change for the better, the world will change for the worse. We need to recognize our impermanence and infidelity to an unhealthy demand on the natural world. We cannot be blind in the face of fire. The future's prosperity rests on our sight. I propose you have the ability, just as I, to contribute to this change. In life, all you have is choice, or more accurately, how to exercise some control over how and what you choose to think and do. The gauntlet sits at your foot. You get to decide if it has meaning, if the future generations matter. All I want to argue is that instead of kneeling while you're alive, you can die while standing and hopefully preserve this planet for the future.